Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast. Track 1, Animal Instinct, featuring Ty Nitty and Big Twins.
Well, at the time, Twin Gambino.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then the bad
He's now known
genius.
as Big Twins, but you know.
Okay. Twin Gambino. Okay, that's his real name, his maiden name. Okay.
Well, that's his name in this era.
Right. His mama named him Gambino. I'm gonna call him Gambino, and I'm gonna call this song a 7-.
The Mel 7-.
Here we go. I mean, I just, they won't let me live with the 7-.
This is a hip hop classic, bro.
I mean, I like it. That should be enough for people.
It's enough for me because it's a takeaway for Mel, and that counts towards the score. So I'm happy with the takeaway. I'm just saying, it's the Mel 7- out the gate. I think we know what we're dealing with. It's a 90s rap album.
Big Willie Style is a 90s rap album.
Oh, come on, Mel. All right. It's a golden era 90s rap album, okay?
97 wasn't the golden era? Still?
No, the golden era cuts off in 96.
Who said?
Darth.
Oh, okay. I don't want to argue with Darth.
You have nightmares of arguing with Darth.
I was telling Moulz in Walmart that I have nightmares of waking up, waking up and seeing Darth quote tweet me and be like, he's not hip, or this is why hip hop is dead, and I'm just like, oh man, I let Darth down.
All right, so 7- from you on this one, this Animal Instinct, right?
Yeah, 7-.
Flat 8. Ding me, baby.
All right. Well, okay. Look, because I ain't afraid of nobody but Dart. I'm gonna say it. Y'all lucky because this was a 6+ until a certain moment.
That I can't fathom.
Well, you gotta fathom it because when we're in hell on earth, anything can happen. The worst of things, like me giving this a 6+. But hey, because I'm so heavenly at heart, I came around. This is the thing, man. So it comes on, and it's like, yo, you know how we did on the Infamous album, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, we're going to do it again, son. And I'm like, oh, so I popped because, I like the Infamous. Season 7, we reviewed it. So I'm like, hey, that sounds great to me. We're just going to run it back. But I wasn't getting the same, let me see. What did I give the intro of the Infamous? Let me see. Season 7. The Infamous. I gave it a 7-. Okay, well, I guess they're the same to me.
What did I give it, out of curiosity?
Oh, you gave it an 8+.
Okay, so I like that intro better than this one.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because they're both 8s for me. This is one of my favorite Mobb Deep songs,
Right. Okay, well, I was having trouble this week. And I was telling Moulz on the phone, I was worried because I was listening. I'm like, wait, I like these. I know I like these guys. I like Mobb Deep. I like Prodigy. I like the music. Something's going on. I had to. This is an example of an album that has a sound, and that can be a good and bad thing depending on what sounds you gravitate towards or to as a listener. So this sound is very murky. It's very gritty. You're gonna be hearing that. What is that? The one,
a lot of that. You're
the
hearing also, a lot of crackling vinyl.
And so if you don't lock in with that sound or you don't appreciate that sound and care for that sound, it could be a rough time for you. Here's the thing. I have an appreciation for that sound, but I had to settle, like any album, you have to settle in.
Right. We were talking off air, about the similarities and differences between those two albums. And, ultimately came to the conclusion that with Q-Tip's involvement on the last album, you did kind of get a little bit of a jazzier production style on there versus this album, which is more cinematic sounding, but a lot grittier.
A lot grimmer, a lot more oppressive, like, frankly. Yeah, I was telling Moulz, before he reminded me of the Q-Tip thing, like, yeah, that one was lighter. That music was happy, and well, it wasn't happy and believed in love, but y'all know the Ebert drop. And now you have this music that's so, where's the drop? Because that's how I was feeling on first listen this week.
You have this music that the music is suiting the lyrics more than it did on the last album, whereas the last album, you strip away the lyrics, and that could have been, the instrumental version of potentially a Tribe Called Quest album. It's not that far out of the realm. We were talking about that in that review. How some of the music almost betrays the content on that album.
Yeah, like the samples and the music, the tone, it's just, it's jazzier, it's lighter, it's more melodic. And this is just, you're going to get like very, like you said, cinematic, operatic. It's just like, it's a cloud that's hovering on the whole thing. So like on first listen this week, I was scared. And I remember trying to figure out,
it made sense. His first impression, his gut feeling was to reject this quote unquote oppressiveness.
This is the New York that made me duck when I went in 2000 to the WNBA game. Shout out to the Liberty, by the way. I think they either lost the finals or about to lose the finals, but this is why I ducked when I saw the graffiti. This is what New York was to me, this scary place where everyone's animalistic and they have animal instinct, and I'm scared, and I'm hitting the drop because when this album went off for the first time this week, I was thinking about the Infamous compared to this, and I was like,
that music was happy and it believed in love and it was cheerful and it was musical, and now you get this music that is so sad and so angry.
Well, it's a bleak life, and the music about it is often very bleak.
But obviously, while the drop is a classic, it's not completely accurate because it was a bleak life on the Infamous. It's just musically, the tone was a bit different. But I eventually came around on this once I locked in with the sound and the intent of the album, specifically on this song. What sold me was the sample, the bass line. I like the...
Listen, the sample, man. I mean...
Oh, we got it? Do we have it? I know we got it. We had to have it, right?
We have it. There's 2 samples on here, actually.
Okay.
I'm glad I get to play samples tonight. All this stuff's cleared. So, this is the Tramps. That's where the happy people go.
Oh shit, the Tramps. Okay, let's hear it from the Tramps real quick. All right, that's where the happy people go. Here we go. Was it that part right up top?
Yes. Yep. Right here, too.
Right there.
This part.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where it's all opened up, so I think that's where he got it from.
Right. And that's crazy because that's actually a happy sounding song, but he found that part. Yeah.
Now, Melvin Bliss, not Melvin Birch, but Melvin Bliss, Synthetic Substitution. This is where he pulled the drums from.
Okay, Melvin Bliss. That's me when that Bella scene go off. But here we go. Melvin Bliss, Synthetic Substitution.
That's it. It's just a drum break.
Ooh, that's a good break. I'm sure I've heard that in other songs too.
You get those strings from the Tramps, you get them drums from that Melvin Bliss, and then you get Animal Instinct.
All right.
Let's let them hear a little bit of it.
All right.
No doubt. Yeah. You know how we did it on the Infamous album, right? Alright. So we gonna do it again, son. Yeah. Laid up in the cut. Watch these rap niggas fuck you up. Digging shorty guts, get the bit to set you up. It's the most trifling. 41st side disciple, take kindness for a weakness, so I won't be so kind to niggas coming through. I gave you birth, kid, I'm son of you, the infamous. Got PC for days, we running through townships, fucking shit, kid, we down shit. Hustle mad bricks, Queensbridge, no doubt. Rep the click, nonsense.
I would say too, now's a good time. And Havoc does this very well. I love the reverb on the snare. I'm a big reverb guy.
That reverb on the snare is like the signature of his production at this point in time.
Word.
And when people go back to this album, they hold a lot of his modern production against his production on this album in particular. So, you know, he had done an album recently, like maybe 2 years ago with Styles P, and people were specifically excited about the fact that he did that to the snare on like a couple of the tracks, you know?
Okay.
Like,
That's
it's
great.
a specific technique of his that I guess became like a signature and a calling card that people associate with like his beats in this time. So
it's a good signature.
Yeah, those, and you hear them up top, you know, it's not from a film soundtrack, it's from a soul record, but it sounds so cinematic that
yeah. You know,
I feel like immediately immersed in the ambiance of this album with that, you know, and that no doubt. And then you know how we did it on the Infamous album? That's very Jesse, you know. Welcome to Vlog Air Gems too, you know.
Yeah, welcome to Hell on Earth. If you like the Infamous, you're gonna love this. Okay. Yeah, it's Jesse style. You gotta love it.
And you heard some of his verse. I like how he starts off. It's a good verse. And I'll talk about this throughout the review, but like I find it very interesting that like the way some of these records are structured, it's not like verse, chorus, anything like that. A lot of times it's, in this case, it's all verses and then you get the chorus at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of going off of each other, picking up where the other left off.
Yeah.
And then they save the chorus for the end. And Mobb Deep are really good at these kind of choruses that they do, which is, you know, the rap chorus in the sense that it's rapped.
And that's actually the final element that sold me on the song, the chorus at the very end. Big fan of this chorus. And the chorus specifically on this intro track, maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't, but I feel like it kind of vindicates my feelings on the album as a whole when it comes to the content and kind of how I wasn't connecting with it at first. Because here's the thing. In this song, the verses are cool, but like I said, I'm here for the beat, you know, the bass line, the reverb, the chorus. It's just, quite frankly, you know, I don't live a thugged out life, and I'm not even saying it's bad to at all. I'm not passing any kind of semblance of judgment. I'm just talking about the music. I respect it, but like here, I mean, look, you know, look on raprings.com, the glossary. I came up on small penis rap. I live a small penis rap lifestyle. So these aren't things I think about daily. He's talking about I bleach blind him. Like, I don't want to live a lifestyle where I'm at risk of being blinded by bleach, you know? But like, here's the thing. No one should want to live this kind of lifestyle, as evidenced by the chorus. Like, and I feel like that sets up, you know, he's talking about tired of living life this way, crime pay, but for how long till you reach your downfall? And I feel like that sets up the rest of the album, because it's like, we're going to get a lot of instances of, as we say on the show, good violence, you know? So like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to enjoy a lot of this gritty content, but of course that's always in the context of music, not real life. Like, I'm not cheering on any kind of violence.
I mean, it's just like watching a gangster movie, you know?
Same thing.
Just entertainment at the end of the day, but some of this entertainment is derived from real life, and you'll hear, you know, in Prodigy's autobiography, which we're, you know, going to slowly make our way through the Hell on Earth chapter throughout the course of this review, you know, it's entertainment to us as the listener, and you put all this stuff to a beat, and you put it all in a dope rhyme, and people are going to feel it, absolutely. But a lot of these things that are being talked about, they were going through this shit at the time. These aren't like studio gangster bars, you know? This is a lifestyle that they were immersed in at the time. And you'll hear a firsthand account of it through P.
I mean,
you know, not only were they experiencing a lot of tragedy at that time, you know, personally, but just like they were just wilding out in general. You know,
I mean, It's in Prodigy's verse. He had the verse of the song to me. I mean, I'm gonna be saying that a lot tonight. But I mean, bro, it's P live and direct, stab the neck, ice pick, bloodied up your whole entire shit. That's good.
Let's watch that ice pick. By the way, we got to stay on ice pick watch all night because,
bro, you telling me? I already know.
Prodigy wheels the ice pick, but even Havoc pops up with it a couple times. So we got to keep our eye on the ice pick all night.
That ice pick is a lot of bodies on the ice pick. Just keep an eye on it. I mean, bro, he's talking about, my crew run wild, snatch chains and bracelets. Your time's wasted for figuring P. There's two sides to me. Snake niggas, obviously, you get lumped something horribly, and then we calmly guzzle. So it's Spummentelli and Don Perignon. It's Don Perignon. Y'all know I don't drink. But that sequence is interesting to me because this is a guy who's hardened. He's callous. But in his own words, there's more to him than that. There's two sides of me. But we can't be caught being weak out here. You got to keep the ice pick on you. I
love how he opens this record. It's such an emphatic opening. It's his first verse on the album. He goes in, just the energy that he has. And I'll talk about this through the course of the review. He's often second on these songs. Like his verse goes second. And there's something about the way he comes in off a Havoc verse that is just so, like the energy is just so unique.
He is, this verse in particular, effective and economical. Like in terms of rappers, like I feel like, people talk about no wasted bars or like, adding to a song. When Prodigy raps, I'm like, yep, that's what the song needed. It's like, yep, that fits perfectly. Like
he comes in with that energy. He's shouting out the crew, right? And then he's going into that, it's P, live and direct, stab the neck, ice pick, bloody up your whole entire set, live shit, 1996, ask you bitch, crew run wild, snatch chains and bracelets. I love that. And then right off the back of that, Ty Nitty comes in. He and Twin both get an 8-bar verse each. And I appreciate the Long Island Expressway reference in Ty Nitty's verse. Twin is the closer. And his voice, now if you listen to like Big Twins or any of the Big Twins features on like HNIC Part 2, product of the 80s, the last 15 or so years, his voice is like, sounds like I've heard people describe it as, he drinks like gravel shakes for breakfast and washes it down with Newports.
Oh my God. Okay.
I love his voice. He has one of the great rap voices. Just as the years passed, it only got more grimy and gravelly sounding. His energy on here is dope, even if he's only on the joint briefly. And then we end with that chorus. And I was saying, Mobb Deep, when I think of rap choruses, they are one of the acts who excel at doing that, All
right. Yeah, I agree. As somebody who I feel like I started rapping, just as when I started rapping, rappers at the time, this is 07, we were about to enter this like melodic era that we never left. But, rappers usually, if it got melodic, you're handing that hook off to an R&B singer, know? If rappers did a hook, it was like a rapped hook, And so like those were the hooks, like the wordy sort of hooks that I came in doing. So I understand that, but there's an art to those, you know?
And they're really good at it. And, there's maybe only one example on the album where it didn't work for me, but we'll get to that later. I feel like the atmosphere here, like we're setting up musically for what you're going to get on the rest of the album.
Yeah. From the second this comes on, it feels like, I don't know if there's like a specific thing I want to reference in general, but like there's this trope of like, like a wave of like, negativity will like sweep over a city or like over the world. And like all of a sudden everybody has been turned into like bloodthirsty animals. Like I feel like the second song.
That's the plot of Halloween Kills.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, basically.
Oh shit. Well, like that. Okay. For my children's media people, I'll say, what is it? The Tower of Dr. Zalost, or whatever his name was. It was like
All right.
Hey, look, it was just like this like wave that swept over nowhere, and everybody got turned into assholes, basically. But I think that was the episode. It might have been a different episode, but anyway, yeah. And this doesn't let up. Like musically, lyrically, this won't let up. This is 14 tracks of this.
Yeah,
like,
there's no outlier record where they're like, all right, let's just do like one club record to give the label something. No.
No. It's just we are whooping people's asses, okay, and shooting
like
up.
You think of the last album, you had who was it, Crystal Johnson on Temperature Rising, for example. Temperature Rising. Ain't no temperature rising. Ain't no singing on here.
Ain't no temperature rising. Yeah, no.
If you're gonna pinpoint a specific difference between the two albums, it's in the production, in that it got grimier, and even the lyricism got a little bit grimier. It's just a darker album in general.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, I will say this about Twin Gambino. His verse kicks off with what I'll say is bad violence. And here's why it's bad violence. Because it feels real. This ain't no movie. Now, look, it never was, but like my technique, official white meat, internal bleeding, he felt heat, then cold feet. That's just that damn rigor mortis. That's a homicide. Like, at least an ice pick is somewhat like cinematic, maybe even cartoonish, But like internal bleeding, like now we're getting clinical. Like somebody's on a gurney, we're at the ICU, like somebody's brother just died. Like internal bleeding is like, that's scary to me, So like, and it's that kind of thing where it's like, man, I shouldn't even be listening to this. I'm too weak for this. I'm too gentle. I can't be doing this. But ultimately, like, look, this is their life. This is a lifestyle. This is what they're expressing. And so ultimately it ends up working.
How do you feel like it's being expressed?
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
And does the expression equal endorsement, like, or is it just a expression? Is it just a account of what they're seeing or what they're going through,
Yeah, man. Like, told people plenty of times this. I probably said it on I told people plenty of times this. I've told people this plenty of times. But like, it's like the video game panic. Bro, I was playing Mortal Kombat when I was like 3 years old. I found like Grand Theft Auto when I was like 9. I've never been in a fight. Like, like I'm not a violent guy. So it's like you can enjoy violent things or, without having to emulate it or endorse it,
Right. So now there might be a ceiling on it. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. Like it's like anything else. This is like a movie. It's like a video game, except in a lot of regards, like you said, this is their real life, though. So, and like that's in the back of my mind, though, as I listen to some of this. So there's good violence, there's bad violence.
Right. And I mean, as artfully as some of it is portrayed, and you might call that good violence, the hazards are real.
Yes. Very much so.
This is that reality rap. So,
yeah.
Don't get it twisted. This isn't studio gangster rap. And, I was talking about back in the background info on this one that pretty much like half this album is radio freestyle and mixtape freestyle staples, like all these beats.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one here. This is Heems from Das Racist. And this is the Combat Jack Show freestyle over Animal Instinct.
A turn of my headphones up, as they say in the rap. Oh, there we go. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Hema. Yeah, Hema. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Hey yo, American Heems, the American dream. Trying to get rich off American schemes. Horatio Alga, you square like Trafalgar. Genevieve's Pergament, Conway, Calder. Horatio Sands, you ain't shit, Sands your mans. Shit a brick if you lock hands with the fam. See it how I call it, I'm an alcoholic. But shut up before I crush you with my wallet. I'm about money and earning like Bernie Madoff. To a fault while your work ethic mad off. Plus you mad soft, crab sauce, shell soft. I was 26 in the 90s, I be well off. Internet money, you got mail. That caviar a garnish, that caviar stale. My Gmail real, that Gmail feel. I'm a G, I'm a male, feel so ill. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Queens, get the money. Internet's Queens, get the money. Get the money.
We do it like this.
Bloody money.
Oh shit! That that piano beat that came in just there.
Yeah, that's CNN.
Oh, is that what that is?
Capone and Noriega, Bloody Money.
Okay, you gotta forgive me because to me that sounded like that damn yeah, but they don't need to know about that.
Dun, 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 dun. That's that Andrea?
Yeah, Andrea Mendez.
Yeah.
They don't worry about it, folks, okay? Yeah. Shout out to Heems on that beat. Okay. Yeah. That's a good beat. Folks, that beat. Folks, don't worry about what we're doing right now. Just don't worry.
That time it's time to say goodbye. Da-na, da-na-na-na.
Oh, you mean this? Look, that can't. No, they don't. That might be the one project of his that kind of fits the production of this album a little bit.
What did I do? Just go through every fucking song on there off the top of my head? That's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. Cult stuff, folks. Don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we'll have more freestyles throughout the night. And unless you have anything else to say about this one, we have more Prodigy from the My Infamous Life audiobook.
Oh, you know I want to hear that. Well, I have one final thing to say, okay, because I have to say it. So here we go. What do you listen to when you're fucked up because the internet, but you just found a fix?
I don't know.
Scarface and Gambino.
All right. Get it? Because the internet, the fix. Okay, enough out of me. All right, we got more Prodigy. I've been waiting on this.
I got to let you guys know, this clip's almost exactly 10 minutes long, so if you don't feel like listening to this audiobook, you can skip ahead 10 minutes. Otherwise, lock in. And again, I suggest you lock in.
I suggest they lock in. Okay. This
picking up right from where we left off.
Oh, great. Okay.
With that bookmark, you know? Picking up the book.
Bookmark. Again. Yeah, bookmark style. All right, here we go.
The Source magazine hosted the second annual Source Awards at Madison Square Garden. We were cool with the owners of the magazine, so we got a bunch of tickets and the whole crew went. I even brought Kiki. I'd always tell her that it was too dangerous to come out with me, but I wanted to bring her along and make her feel good. We all got drunk and high and went inside and took our seats. Havoc and I were presenting the War Wu-Tang Clan, so we kicked it backstage with them in the dressing room. Hav was so bent that he fell asleep on the floor. Kiki and I walked back to our seats to watch the show. In the middle of Biggie's performance, Hav came into the crowd screaming, "Somebody took my fucking chain, yo! Somebody fucking robbed me, son!" We jumped up to help him find his chain. Come to find out, Raekwon saw Havoc drunk on the floor in the dressing room and took his chain off his neck so nobody else would snatch it. Ray pulled it out his pocket and gave it back to Hav, and we all calmed down. Death Row hit the stage and did one of the illest shows ever. Their stage setup had jail cells and opened up one by one as they performed Stranded on Death Row. After the song, Snoop Dogg started screaming on the mic. New York ain't got love for Snoop Doggy Dogg. New York ain't got love for Death Row. I sat there wondering, what the fuck is he talking about? He was really feeling himself because of all the money and power they were displaying on stage. But he took it a little bit too far. All the hooping and hollering made Snoop sound real stupid.
Wow.
And left a sour taste with everybody from New York. After Death Row was done, Mobb Deep and Wu-Tang hit the stage to present an award. When we went back to our seats, Suge Knight, the co-founder and CEO of Death Row Records, came out in a tight red shirt and tight-ass pants with his ass crack hanging out the back. He started dissing Puffy, talking about how he dancing on his artist videos and how niggas should come to Death Row. So all you artists out there who don't want to be on the label where the executive producers all up in the videos, all up on the records, dancing, Suge shouted, you come to Death Row. After Suge's little hatred speech, Biggie took the stage to perform and won the award for Best New Artist. The new year passed. During the summer of 1996, sitting in my grandmother's house, I drew an idea for a pendant to go with my chain and brought it over to my man Manny in Midtown Manhattan's Diamond District. He did custom work for rappers way before Jacob, David, and all those other guys. Manny loved my drawing, a miniature Mac 10, about 6 inches long and 1.5 inches thick, all solid gold. Make it so I could take the clip in and out, I requested. He charged me $5,000, and it was the illest piece ever made in the history of rap jewelry. The only pendants that could compete with mine before or after were Run DMC's miniature gold Adidas sneaker, the first sneaker pendant, Ghostface's giant Versace head, the biggest pendant ever made, Big Pun's giant tombstone, the heaviest chain and pendant ever made, my platinum and Marquise Diamond Infamous Records piece, the first pendant made with Marquise Diamonds and the first 40-inch long chain, Nas's giant platinum QB piece, and 50 Cent's spinning platinum G-Unit, the first pendant that could spin. Jewelry was a bad habit, and a competition as far as I was concerned. If you couldn't compete, then put your chain in your shirt when you come around me, 'cause I make your little bullshit look stupid. Some people hook up their car, some people were heavy in their designer clothing. My thing was my 16 bars and my jewelry. Towards the tail end of the summer, we chilled in Queensbridge, taking a break from all the touring and recording. Havoc and his crew loved basketball, NBA and college. They were real serious about it. Every day, they played for money on the court in front of Hav's building. They all played on school teams when they were younger. Ty Nitty and Twin Gambino were the best. In the Honeycomb hideout, I sit on the couch while they were all excited and I didn't even know what the hell they were screaming for. They tried explaining the game, but I just wasn't into it. When they played on Hav's block, I sit on the bench and try to learn the rules. I never got into any sports because when I overworked my body, it triggered my sickle cell pain. One of Havoc's close friends from Queensbridge, Ron Artest, played for the St. John's University team. Anytime his games was on TV, we made an event out of it and hit the Honeycomb with a bunch of weed, liquor, and beer. Ron was real good, and everyone was hyped that he was going to be in the NBA soon. In autumn 1996, almost half the 12th Street crew went down to North Carolina to get out of New York for a few months. Most niggas went down south to hustle, but Havoc, Twin, Gotti, Godfather, Nitty, and I were there for a vacation and to get our driver's licenses for the first time. We couldn't get them in New York because of our driving records. The DMV computers weren't connected back then, so my New York record didn't show up in North Carolina. And the test was way easier down there. We got them in one day. Down south, they got something you won't find in New York. Southern hospitality. Girls moved us into their homes, cooked for us, let us drive their cars, and a whole lot more. Mobb Deep was real popular in the South, so we had it extra easy. We loved the dirty South. Havoc's homie Star from Queensbridge, the one who paid for the studio time for our demo, had moved down to North Carolina and was doing well for himself. He had the streets on smash and opened up a few strip clubs and nightclubs in Fayetteville and Greensboro. Havoc, Rondu, the twins, Godfather, Nitty, Gotti, and I were all living in a small 2-story shack on Juniper Street by Duke University in Durham. Star paid for us to perform at one of his spots in Fayetteville. It was packed. After the show, we were so drunk that Twin Gambino and I fell asleep in the spot. When I woke up in the morning, Twin Gambino and I were laying on the carpet in Star's office in the studio. Where's everybody? I was disoriented. Why am I on the floor? We were locked in the club with no way out. Yo, Twin, wake up, I said. Where's everybody at? He didn't know either. Neither of us had a cell phone, so we just had to wait. Luckily, the club was huge and had pool tables, video games, and a kitchen with a freezer full with French fries and chicken, so we fried us some food. After our meal, we turned on the DJ equipment, went behind the bar, mixed some Seagram's gin and orange juice, our favorite drink at that time, and played a few games of pool. 5 to 6 hours later, Star, Havoc, and the rest of the crew came back for us. They said they tried to wake us up the night before, but we were both out cold. Twin and I reminisce about that night for years. Around that time, this new truck came out, called the Tahoe. There was a Chevy dealership right by the house in Durham, and I finally had my license. It was time to buy my first brand new car. Gotti and I went to the dealership, and right away we saw a black Tahoe with gray leather seats that we liked. This badass saleswoman worked there, brown skin, real pretty, with a big, dirty South fatty. You know, we went straight to her. She took us for a test drive, and after 2 minutes, it was sold. Impressed that some young black kids from New York would have trucked that fast. She gave us her phone number and told us to come chill with her later. We did. My man Dude was making scrambled eggs for breakfast the next morning when Snoop and the Dog Pound's New York, New York video came on TV. These niggas was in the video, stomping all through New York's landscape and kicking over our buildings. Rondu, Gotti, and I immediately looked at each other and said, these niggas is trying to play us. First Snoop was flipping at the Source Awards, and now this? It was time to get back home.
Holy shit. This is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life, quite frankly. It's 10 so far. 10 book, okay?
The way I split up the chapter tells the story of where we're at and where we're going. So, with that said, do you want to discuss Drop a Gem on him?
I do. I just want to say the way he described that saleswoman at the Chevy dealership reminded me of the Wayne deposition. He was like, this is crazy, stupid thick. That's a personal meme, crazy, stupid thick. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about it. Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.